Hey Kids Rock, thanks for joining us today. My name is Lena and we are in week 2 of Kids Might. If you are on campus, we are going to be heading into a time of worship, and if you're online, we're going to head straight into the Bible story. Let's do this.
Let's read Luke 21 verses 1 through 4. While Jesus was in the temple, he watched the rich people dropping their gifts in the collection box. Then a poor widow came by and dropped in 2 small coins. "I tell you the truth," Jesus said, "this poor widow has given more than all of the rest of them. For they have given a tiny part of their surplus, but she, poor as she is, has given everything she has."
There once was a woman who was very poor, and a widow. One day, she came to the temple to give her offering to God. Many people came to the temple, and when they would drop their offerings, it would make this loud noise that would echo across the temple. As the widow walked through the temple, Jesus and his disciples watched her. She walked up to give her offering and dropped in 2 small coins. These 2 coins were all she had to live on. As Jesus watched the widow, he said to his disciples, "I tell you the truth. This poor widow has given more than all the others who were making offerings, for they gave a tiny part of their riches. But she, poor as she is, has given everything she has to live on."
Have you ever thought that your money doesn't matter? I mean, for the most part, outside of our parents or our grandparents letting us earn a little bit of money, working for them, maybe we get allowance, or maybe we get money for our birthday. But other than that, it's pretty tough for kids to make money. I mean, mostly because it's illegal for kids under the age of 14 to work. But still, it's really tough to make money. For the most part, when we get money, it's usually not much. Maybe it's 2 pennies, maybe it's 2 nickels, 2 dimes, 2 quarters, maybe even got $2. And every now and then we get fortunate enough to get 20 whole dollars. What? This weekend, we are learning such an important lesson about giving and the importance behind our hearts towards giving. We are learning that what we can give is enough. That doesn't mean that we should just give whatever we want and call it good. That's not the point. But like I said, sometimes all that you have is 2 pennies or 2 quarters. But like Luke 21, 1 through 4 shows us, if all you have to give is 2 pennies and you give it to God trusting that he will do something great with it, then it is exactly enough. The lady from Luke 21 gave everything she had, and she knew that God would be faithful, and she trusted Jesus. While the rich people were just throwing money and giving money because they wanted people to see how much money they had and see that they were giving money and wanted attention on them. The woman gave her last 2 coins. But here's the really cool thing that you guys need to know. Over the last month, we've had around 250 kids come to Kids Rock across all 3 of our campuses. Now, I know you weren't prepared to have math class in church, but imagine if all 250 of you brought a certain amount of money over the next 4 weeks. And I'm not talking about like $100 here, because I ain't got that. Do you got that? No. But I'm talking about actual pennies. So here it goes. If every kid brought 2 pennies for 4 weeks, we would raise $20. If every kid brought 2 nickels for 4 weeks, are you ready for this? We would raise $100. If every kid brought 2 dimes for the next 4 weeks, we would raise $200. 2 quarters, we would be at $500. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the next one. You ready for this? If every kid brought 2 whole dollars for the next 4 weeks, we would be at $2,000. Can you imagine? If we just brought $2 each week for 4 weeks, Kids Rock could raise $2,000. You could buy a PS5, a 65-inch TV, a gaming chair, like 10 whole games, all of that for $2,000. What? Or you can make sure a family keeps their lights on for a full year with $2,000. Or with $2,000, that could also provide a family of 4 with 4 full months of food for $2,000. The point is, if we had the mindset that even though we don't have much money, what we can give is enough, as long as we're giving it with a joyful heart and that we're trusting Jesus that He will use it to grow His kingdom and that people who are in need will be helped. Then, that way we can make a big difference. As kids, we can show our might if we decide that our giving is enough, regardless of how much money we may have, because you guys are awesome and you're never too young to give and to be generous.
We're going to be asking some questions. If you're on campus, make sure to answer out loud or pause the video if needed. If you're online, just say them out loud. Question 1. Question 2. Question 3.
Now let's read the memory verse. 2 Corinthians 9, verse 7. You must each decide in your heart how much to give. And don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure, for God loves a person who gives cheerfully. That's all we have for you this week. Bye, Kids Rock!